Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is the Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have to have a conversation about your life and your money. My name is Anthony O'Neill, host of the popular YouTube and podcast show, The Table with Anthony O'Neill, and co-hosting with me today is a national best-selling author and host of the Dr. John Deloney Show. And together, we're taking your phone calls today, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Any questions around money, any questions around relationships, any questions around your mental health, give us a call. And single brothers, any questions with you all wondering, can you purchase a home as a single man? Give us a call right here live on the air.
We're doing it today.
You have two single men in here. We can answer that question. I got a tat yesterday for.
I'm not single.
I mean, I'm single.
You said you got two single men in here.
But you're the coach, though. You're the mental coach, so you can help out single brothers, too.
Oh, so if one of them calls.
Yes. Christy got me in trouble yesterday because...
I like how you did that. Typical single guy blaming the powerful, strong, brilliant woman. Continue. Go ahead, man. She got you in trouble. I like how you started that off.
Oh, no. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, though. It's going to be a good day.
All right. It'll be good.
It's going to be a real good day. Man, I mean, it is jam-packed out there in the lobby today. Hey, you guys, man, look amazing.
So good to see everybody.
Some good-looking people out there chilling with us. You know what? They came today because they heard Dave was out and they heard you and I were taking over the show. And so, yes, you look at him saying, yep, yep. And so, you got a little bit of chocolate and vanilla. Yes, Lord. 888-825-5225 is the number. Give us a call. Madison is standing by, and she would definitely patch you through. Let's go ahead and jump on the phone lines, man. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
Let's talk to Rachel out in New York. Good afternoon, Rachel. This is Anthony O'Neill. How can Dr. John and I help?
Hey, guys. I am good. And so then, thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, so my question is right now, my husband and I are currently on baby step 2. And we've paid off like $58,000, which has been great, and we've been following the steps. But right now, we have $22,000 left, and I don't know, we're just like struggling to find motivation. I'm in grad school, and then my husband is working right now in sales, and we're struggling to balance between even continuing to have the bell intensity, and then also balancing life, and it's also tough because no one else, our friends and family don't do Dave Ramsey, and so it's kind of, sometimes it just gets kind of lonely. I mean, obviously we have the two of us to support each other, but it's just lacking motivation, I guess.
Yeah. So you said you're 58 in and you got 22 to go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you're so close, man.
Yeah, man.
What are you going to grad school for? What are you going to grad school for?
Chemistry.
I didn't hear you.
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
It's so cool to talk to smart people, Anthony. It's like one of my favorite things.
I know. Especially people smarter than me.
Yes.
But, let's celebrate, Rachel, the fact that you paid off $58,000, all right? One of the key things that you have to do when it comes to keep pushing through the baby steps is acknowledge, okay, where did you start? Where are you at today? And celebrate those wins. And so you are paying off you paid off $58,000. This is great. This is amazing. Like I'm ready to put you on the stage and say, let's have a future debt-free screen.
Yes.
Okay? Because you've done what most people are not willing to do. They're not to eat. So I'm just saying. I'm excited for it.
I'm super excited. Rachel, why are y'all getting out of debt? Why?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for us is just with our legacy and our family. We both have great families, right? And they're awesome. But even just kind of continuing that godly heritage we have, but we also want to continue the godly heritage and not have any financial issues, because I even think one of the things, even with, it is cool because it's something, it's almost like spiritual formation, wealth building. And it's nice to not have any of the financial distractions and be able to, it's the only reason if we tell people no isn't because we don't have the finances to do it. It's just
you're choosing not
because
to.
we either don't want to.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So when you say you're struggling with staying motivated, paint me a picture of that. Is it just you wake up and it feels crummy, or you just have days when you're like, this just sucks? Or you're in a season now where you've been doing grad school and chemistry mostly online, and it's exhausting, and your husband's been on the road, and it's exhausting, and then it's still March something, and we're just coming out of the cold season, and it's exhausting, and everything just kind of is like, bleh.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us that's hard is, so kind of what you were saying, right, where it's like, we're doing stuff with our careers, and we're kind of at like the beginning training stages. And I think it's hard because it's almost like we sometimes just feel kind of lonely, I guess, pursuing, a wealthy lifestyle, I guess, for lack of a better word, or doing things that are really weird. Like usually, I don't know, most of the time, sometimes it's like, oh man, this is just great. And like, I know the why. It's also hard when you don't have this strong community around you of people who are also doing it. I don't know, because it's like, I guess, again, as I said, we have each other, but it's just sometimes it's like, I wish we had more people.
Yeah, well, Rachel, a lot of my millionaire friends told me this, and I want to give this passage down to you because I think one of the things that I teach within my particular tribe is if your why doesn't make you cry, then the price of commitment will make you cry. And so I hear you say your why, but I want to hear you get a little emotional about your why. And I think if you can get a little emotional, if your why is so deep that sometimes it brings tears to your eyes, your husband's eyes, then you can push through. But I also want to encourage you and just remind you, this is not a popular statement, but sometimes when you are going and doing things that normal people do not do, you will feel lonely.
Every time you will.
And so it's like for me on this journey that I have right now of not racking up any debt, of building a legacy for my kids, I do feel a little lonely. But you know what? I understand that it's okay because where I'm going is going to be for the best for me and my family. And I refuse to be comfortable and broke. I'd rather be uncomfortable, a little lonely, and wealthy. Okay? And so my suggestion to you is identify that why. Spend some time and just get deeper in that why until you start feeling some tears coming out of your eyes. Then from there, just remind yourself, hey, we're going to be a little lonely, and that's okay.
And everyone who feels lonely when they're doing something weird for the betterment of themselves, their family, their community, I promise you, there's a group of weirdos in your local community. If you will go first, you cannot do this alone. That's why we have the Baby Steps communities online and in person. You got to reach out and find some people. Get a why that will get stuck in your throat, and then go find people that are going to wrap themselves around you, man. They are out there. Go do the work and find people.
Absolutely. If your why doesn't make you cry, then the price of commitment, the price to true success, will make you cry. We're going to talk more about this right here on The Ramsey Show.
Healthcare has gotten to be ridiculous. It puts people, on the brink. And so it would have put us on the brink had we not had CHM. CHM saved our life, saved our financial lives.
Christian Healthcare Ministries, or CHM, is not health insurance, but it is a budget-friendly option and the original health cost-sharing ministry for Christians. Get started today and check us out at chministries.org/budget.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. My name is Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality. Joined in the studio with me is also a national best-selling author and host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, the one and only Dr. John Deloney. We're taking your phone calls this hour, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. And America, I want to say, if you're ever in the area, if you're ever in the city of Nashville or Franklin, Murfreesboro, and you just want to come out and just chill, come by the office, tour our office, tour the lobby, and have some cookies. I'm telling you right now, you see them waving at you. Some people are inviting you to the beautiful city of Franklin, Tennessee. And I'm telling you right now, the cookies smell good. As soon as you walk through the door, you're going to want to stay here for about a good 2-3 hours and enjoy listening to Dave and one of the personalities on the Ramsey Show.
And they're pushers over there, man.
Are they?
They will figure out how to get those cookies.
Yes. Man,
into your body.
It's the chocolate chip.
Man.
You know?
I'm an oatmeal raisin guy, but man, I tell you what, they make them there every day.
I'm gonna talk to Dave and our producer James and see if we're allowed to eat one of the cookies while we're on the show.
On the show?
That'd be so cool. Oh man, let's go out to the phone lines again. 888-825-5225. You know, we're talking about your life. So any area you want to talk about, give us a call, and we'll walk you through and give you our opinions, our wisdom and knowledge. And if we can't answer the question, believe it or not, America, we will say I don't know.
I'm not going to say that, but
well, I will.
I'll say that
because I don't want to get sued. Let's go out to Oklahoma and have a conversation with Ruby. Good afternoon, Ruby. How can Dr. John and I help?
I'm trying to figure out if I should start saving for a house now or make double payments on my debt.
Okay. All right. Talk to us. Give us a bit more information about yourself. How much debt are you in?
Currently, I have about $2,400 left out of $12,000 from my divorce.
Okay. So you're only at $2,400 left in debt, and you paid off, well, that's out of $12,000. Okay, cool. What's your household income?
My household income about every 2 weeks is just a little over $900.
Oh, so $1,800 a month is your net?
Yes.
Okay. And
but that also includes the 401k, which I put 5% in, and my employer matches that 5%.
Okay, cool. And you have any kids, Ruby?
I have 2.
Okay, 2 kids.
And I don't receive child support or any financial help.
Any reason why you don't receive child support?
Yeah, I expect that child support about the same time I'll get half of the mutual debt paid back.
So never?
So pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I hate that for you, Ruby.
I know with my tax bracket, I will starting in June, I'll be getting that extra $500 a month
Okay.
for the next 6 months.
Okay. All right. Well, Ruby, what's this $2,400 in debt? I'm curious.
It was just for my divorce. I was getting my ex-husband money orders to pay like the taxes on our land and on the state taxes and stuff like that. And apparently he never paid them.
Okay.
So I had to take out some loans to consolidate everything because there was back owed taxes.
Okay.
And I got most of that paid off. I think I have $800 left on that loan. And then my other ones are, I have a senior HUD account, which is what I've done Christmas with for the last few years.
Okay.
That was probably my highest one. That one right there is, I think, around $1,400.
Okay. All right.
And then the rest of it's just a little bit on credit cards that I use for gas, and then I pay back, use for gas and pay back. So it's revolving credit.
Okay, cool. All right. Sounds good. I mean, well, it doesn't sound good that you're in debt, but I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. So to answer your question, I'm going to give you one part question, then I'm going to give you some extra stuff that you didn't ask for. Number one is, no, ma'am, you're not in a position to purchase a home just yet. All right. Not saying that you will not be, but as of right now, with $2,400 in debt and only making $1,800 a month, as in your net, which I'm guessing you're right around $2,400 gross. Right now, we need to focus on just creating a solid foundation for you and your kids. So I'm going to say double up on your debt. Do you have any money in your savings account right now?
No, I've been putting everything towards paying off the debt because I have a year to find my own place.
Okay.
My roommates are moving in April, and the town I live in, it's expensive to rent. It's about $800 a month.
Yeah.
And if I was to get a house that was even bigger than what I can get for $800 a month, my mortgages would look at about $550 to $650 a month.
Yeah, but I tell everyone, just because the mortgage is cheaper than your rent doesn't mean your house is cheaper than your apartment.
All day, every day, Ruby.
And so I get the fact that you're looking at your mortgage payment, but I promise you, your water bill goes up, your electricity bill goes up. You got to cut the grass, you got to maintain the grass, you got to maintain the house, So right now, renting for you is the best option because you just pay your rent and just maintain the interior of the house. But if anything breaks, your landlord is responsible for that. So right now, renting for you is the best option because you don't want to go purchase a house and you don't even have, $1,000 sitting in your savings account. You don't have any money for an emergency. So what I want you to do is walk through the baby steps. Number one, you're going to put $1,000 in your savings account. Number two, you're going to pay off all the rest of this $2,400. And then number three, you're going to set aside 3 to 6 months. All right. So you're already on baby step number 4 in baby step number 2, Ruby. So what I want you to do is stop investing. I understand you got the match from your employer, but that 5% can help you get out of this $2,400 very, very well. Now, I'm not telling you to withdraw from your 401k. I'm just telling you to pause putting money into your 401k so you can put more money towards this $2,400 and stack up 3 to 6 months. Now, let's talk about your job. I want to connect you with our career expert here called Ken Coleman because I do believe that you need to get your income up so that way you can at least get to around $2,500 to $3,000 take home a month so that way you can get into the house that you want. So here I'm going to say this again. And then I'm going to let Dr. John come in. Number one, no, you're not in a position to purchase a home. Number two, stop investing. Use that 5% to go towards all of your paying off your debt. But before you pay off your debt, Ruby, put $1,000 in your savings account. Okay. So you're going to make all your minimum payments, get $1,000 in your savings account, then go back to aggressively attacking this $2,400. While you're doing all that, you're going to get on the phone and next week, Ruby, I want you to call into the Ken Coleman Show, and I want you to ask Ken Coleman, how can I get my income up?
Hey, Ruby, how recent was your divorce over?
My divorce was it was officialized in 2016.
Okay, so you're still rebounding from it several years later, huh?
Yes, just because of the amount of the debt and honestly how expensive it is in this town.
Yeah. What's the allure of that town?
The allure of the town is, one, the benefits. Mm-hmm. Two, me and my children are Native American, and this is where our tribe's at.
There you go. Okay. I
get benefits from my tribe, and for my employer, there's actually really great health benefits. Mm-hmm. And there's really great, like I said, the retirement, it's vacation. It's like when COVID hit, mm-hmm. I had the opportunity to work from home so that I could still be here when my kids weren't allowed to go to school.
That's right. And so I've got a close friend who is in a tribe there in Oklahoma City. Absolutely understand that and understand the community and the resources you got there too. I need you to hear me and Anthony tell you, you are in a financial emergency, and that heart racing that you experience all the time, that frustration you have with getting to the end of the month, and here it is 5 years later, and you're still paying off $12,000 worth of debt. You're trading this false safety for, if you listen to what Anthony's going to tell you, you're talking about legacy change. Mm-hmm. You are talking about being able to sleep in a way you haven't slept in years, Ruby. Okay? And so instead of trying to get on some kind of HUD loan so you can do Christmas every year, I want you to be able to go to the store with your own cash in your own place. And it's going to be hard, and it may mean you got to get a different employer. Millions and millions and millions of people worked from home this past year to be with their kids. And millions of people have good health care. Many people don't have health care, but there's a lot of options. I want you to hang on the line. We're going to give you a copy of Ramsey Plus, and I want you to go sit through all these lessons. And I want you to look at it with new eyes.
Yeah.
And just think.
That's good.
Wow, what would happen if I could sleep all night?
Yeah. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. My name is Anthony O'Neill. Joined in the studio with me is Dr. John Deloney, two Ramsey personalities taking your phone calls, answering your questions right here. 888-825-5225. We have one phone line open right now, but keep calling. Madison will get you through as soon as possible. But I got a question for you guys. Anyone interested in working with us here at Ramsey Solutions? Well, if so, we want to transform so many lives that disruption spreads like wildfire across our country. Can you imagine a world where it is weird, extremely weird, to have a student loan instead of everyone assuming that's the only way to get an education? Oh, I would love that world. Can you imagine a world where the majority of people pay cash for their dream cars? Can you also imagine a world where credit cards are the cigarette of the financial industry? Imagine being a part of causing that level of disruption with the work you do every single day. Here at Ramsey Solutions, that's why we have 1,000 people at our company working together to create digital products and services to help people transform their lives with the goal of disrupting the toxic money culture that exists in America today. So, if you want to join us on this crusade, we're currently on the hunt for many software engineers with expertise in Ruby on Rails, Java, C#, and front-end technologies. Or if you are a UX designer, SEO, and content marketing specialist, we would also love to be with you.
Can we just stop that for a second?
What's up?
None of those jobs existed when I was getting out of college.
Zero of them.
None of those jobs, I don't think, existed 10 years ago.
I didn't even understand what a UX designer was.
All the things you just said. Wow.
But you know, but here's the thing though, John, we have so many other jobs. Like for an example, I'm looking for a video producer and you're looking for someone to make sure you make it to work on time. So if you want to join this amazing team here at Ramsey Solutions and really help us take over the world with our message, our God-fearing message, I want you to text the word work that matters. Text work that matters to 33789. Again, that is work that matters to 33789 to find out about all of our opportunities. And y'all, we are on a mission. You know, if when you come here to the studio, you will see that we have another building going up. And so Dave and the family and our board here, you know, we're trying to get some. We're trying to really take over. So we need hundreds of new team members to join us. So if you want to come work for an organization that's transforming lives, that's helping people, hey, text the word work that matters to 33789. Wherever you are, we will help you move here because we want thoroughbreds to join us. If you're a donkey, stay home. Let's go out to Spokane and have a conversation with Doug. Doug, good afternoon. How can Dr. John and I help?
Hey, Dr. John and AO. Great to talk to you guys, and God bless you and all of Dave's team for all the help you guys provide. It's definitely helped me in my life for sure.
Awesome.
So I got some issues with trying to deal with my son's mom. We're really good at co-parenting for the most part and have raised a wonderful son, but occasionally there's these nuclear bombs that come from text messages of changing things, or she didn't like how I did something, and it's a hard thing to deal with and respond to in the right way without getting emotional and, you know, taking a conversation down a path that is probably not the best way for it to go.
Give me an example of a nuclear bomb.
Well, so the latest instance is I am getting remarried this summer, and we were discussing handoffs around what to do. He's going to be in the wedding and all this, and I'm like, hey, he'll stay with my mom and dad the night of, and, you know, come pick him up in the morning. And then she, 2 days later, after we decided that, said, no, I'm not comfortable with him staying there. I'm going to come pick him up that night, and I'll take him. And just in a text message, and I have to respond to that somehow.
So what about that message? So somebody just expressed, sounds like a relatively benign boundary. I'm not comfortable with that. I'll come get him. And so what about that? A, is a nuclear bomb? B, why do you have to respond to that? C, why do you allow that to get into your soul? and ruin what's going to be an awesome summer event for you?
Great question. Well, I guess because she's not okay with him staying with my mom and dad because she's not comfortable for some reason. She doesn't trust them to take care of him, and there's no evidence in the past for that. So I guess that's why that bugs me. And I thought we were under agreement. I felt good about things, and then 2 days later, this comes in. She's changing the plan on her own without really talking through it.
And when is this? This is months away from now?
Yeah, end of July.
Okay. So, man, I don't want to minimize what you're experiencing. Okay, I trust you that this hurts, and I trust you this is frustrating. You're trying to outline these plans. Okay.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
why I'm calling you, because I trust your advice.
Well, I appreciate that. So, I want you to do some reframing when it comes to nuclear bombs. Okay, this doesn't feel like a nuclear bomb to me. This feels like it's going to be hard for her to watch you get remarried, and she doesn't want to do X, Y, and Z. Y'all can have that conversation. Okay.
Right.
The second thing is, if it's not a big deal, if it's not staying with your parents, if you're talking about changing things by 24 hours, let her change things by 24 hours. This is an existential conversation, not a planning issue, right? So.
Okay.
Letting this affect your wedding, man, don't let it affect your wedding. Then the third thing is you are free to say, hey, I don't want to have conversations via text anymore, electronic communication anymore. Let's have a scheduled time where we talk once a week. You can respond with boundaries in an appropriate way too. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense.
I guess my bigger question is, why are you allowing her to have this power over you?
That's a good question.
Well, that is a good question, and she kind of puts things back on me. You know, as a dad, sometimes we make some mistakes, and you know, and also we're different people. We plan different. What we feel is safe or cool or fun is different for each of us, and those don't line up. And I think because, you know, obviously we're not married anymore, there's no grace coming from her side and letting me make decisions that I think would be fun for our son and to help him experience his life.
Sure, I 100% get that. What's in the divorce decree? Are you being extra generous here?
No, I mean, the divorce decree, I mean, we don't really follow it. We've been really good with things up until like last year, kind of when the COVID guidelines hit, and my fiance, she kind of lives in a different town. So, you know, we had travel restrictions in the state, and we had a lot of issues over it. Well, I'm going to see her. She didn't want me to because you're supposed to stay at home.
There you go. Hey, so listen, you are now your ex-wife, right, wrong, or indifferent. And again, I'm trying to just give you a broad picture. She's now going to experience, she's going to experience you moving on with your life. And that's going to be hard. And there's going to be the safety issues that she felt with COVID. Fair enough, right? Right, wrong, or indifferent. Fair enough. And now there's there's an impending wedding coming. Okay? It's going to be hard. Is it right? No. Is it annoying? Yes. Is she allowed to mourn you moving on? Yes. Go back to the divorce decree, man. There's a reason those things are written down. If you have a right to certain times with your kid, go by that divorce decree. And if you don't, you don't. But don't give her this much power, okay? If you don't like what's in a text, call her.
We're going to talk about this after the break. You said she has a right to mourn him moving on?
Of course she does.
I got to ask some more questions about that.
Cool.
Okay, we'll be right back. listening to The Ramsey Show. My name is Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, joined in the studio with me and co-hosting together, Ramsey personality, national best-selling author, Dr. John Deloney. We're taking your phone calls, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. And before we went to break, it was a good call, and I didn't say much on it because you were the expert in that area. But I have a question. As a product of 4 parents, my biological parents having me out of wedlock, one of the things I really loved about all 4 of my parents was I didn't see or feel much drama between them.
Oh, man. So they actually communicate like grown-ups?
From what I can remember. Now, if it actually happened,
hey,
I don't know.
That's important, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But I was wondering from your chair, and I think it's an important conversation, just to ask, and then we're going to get back to the phone calls. But do you believe that it is a good idea to, when a couple has a divorce, to actually go to maybe 1 or 2 counseling sessions just solely on how do we properly communicate as we are going our separate ways to raise this child?
Oh, man.
Because it's like children see and feel.
They absorb it,
everything. Yeah. So if they see mom is giving dad a hard time or dad is giving mom a hard time, I just feel as if that's new. So do you think it'll be a wise idea? Because I'm not married. I'm just asking the question to the expert. Is it a wise idea for maybe couples to kind of mature up a little bit, set aside their differences, and go get some mentorship on how to do this moving forward?
Yeah, and man, that's such a great question, Anthony. Part of me thinks if they were mature enough to do that, they possibly could have headed off some of these relational challenges in the past. But let's assume we're past that. It sometimes shocks people when I ask them a question. I get that he or she was a terrible spouse. Yeah. But were they a good dad or a good mom? And they'll go, oh, yeah, they're really good at being a mom, really good at showing up being a dad. They just weren't good over here. So, yeah, man, if couples are headed that way, if they are getting divorced in the process, getting some guidance, putting your drama down for the sake of the 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 kids is everything. Because you're right. They will absorb it. Literally changes their chemistry.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And any way you can avoid, what that last caller's going through. Yeah. And people grow up and things change. It's different co-parenting a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old than it is a 13 and a 17-year-old, right? That's just different. So, yeah, checking back in. You're going to be a part of each other's life regardless. So, man, get some advice and get some guidance and do that part right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just had to ask that question.
No, I love it.
Because a lot of people who are listening to this right now are going through the same thing that they're going through. Yeah. And I just wanted to let the world know, like, hey, there's nothing wrong with having a simple conversation on how do we do this properly moving forward. Right. Because it does impact our children.
Good for your folks, man. That's great.
Man, my folks are amazing. I love you, mommy and daddy. I love you. Sam is with us in Portland. Good afternoon, Sam. How can Dr. D and I help?
Hi there. So I'm 25 years old, and I just finished baby step 3, and I'm wanting to begin the process for going to PA school. Okay. And it's a little ways away, but I'm wanting to know where, as I save money to cash flow my tuition, where should I place it? Should I put it in a 529? Should I put it in just a general mutual fund? Where's the best place?
How much is PA school going to cost you? And how much time, how long would it be before you actually go to school?
Yeah, I've done some research on PA schools here in Oregon, but then also in other places to see what. So it's probably going to be anywhere between $75,000 and $100,000. Okay. I make about $50,000 right now. I work 3 jobs and save minimal expenses, so I save a lot of money every month. Okay. It's probably going to be about 2 years away because I'm in a job contract right now that I can't break. Before I could start school. So
I love you planning ahead, Sam. You're making my whole heart feel good, man. Good for you.
I have a question that you may not like, but it's a good question. Why?
Yeah, I've always wanted, I'm an EMT right now, and I've always wanted to do, I thought I wanted to be a doctor, and then I really started looking at what physician assistants do and looking at some of the community-oriented programs that they're a part of. And I've always wanted to be one of those community doctors, that works in the small town clinic that gets to serve everyone from, the new baby to the elderly. I just love that idea. So.
I love it. So you'll go from 55 to what's your income ballpark around that once you finish school?
I doing some research. Starting out, probably 85 to 80 to 90, depending on where I get a job, and then from there, upwards. It just depends on where you work and what you do.
Cool, great. Well, here's a good thing, Sam. You're out of debt. You got your fully funded emergency fund. I would definitely say go ahead and start on baby step 4. Start investing. But because you're looking at school within the next 2 years, no, do not put it into a 529. I'll just put it into a money market account and just park it there, so that way you can have access to it. Because this is not a long term. You're not looking at something 5 years plus. If you're looking at something 5 years plus, I would say just put it in a regular mutual fund. But since it's shorter than that, just go ahead and just park it into your money market account. And from there, you'll be all right. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Hey,
You're awesome. Good luck, Sam.
I like that. I really do like that. Good luck, Sam. Ruchi is with us in Washington, D.C. Good afternoon, Ruchi. How can Dr. D and I help?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
So I have a question. My husband and I, we're fortunate that we don't have any debt besides our mortgage. However, we do have a liability in the sense that we financially support my husband's parents who live abroad.
Okay.
We send about, on average, about $800 a month for their living expenses. And, if there was any sort of medical emergency or something, any other emergency, we would also cover that.
Okay.
So my question to you is, in what step, or how would you consider this particular, quote-unquote liability within the baby step? And then outside of that monthly expense that we send, we're having a hard time quantifying, what sort of emergency may come up. And so how would you look at that? How would you quantify it? And then where do you put this in the baby step? And how do we approach that?
That's a good question. And I love you too, sweetheart. So how old are they?
There's 3 of them. It's his mother, father, and an aunt, and they're all above 70 years old.
Y'all are helping provide for the mother, the father, and his aunt?
Yeah, so they're in India, right? So they grew up in a joint family. So the 3 of them operated, as like the parents.
Okay.
So
all right.
yeah.
All right, sounds good. So right now, what baby step are you on?
So we, as I said, we don't have any debt. We save for our retirement. We save for our child's college expense.
How much money do you have in your emergency fund?
It's fully funded for about like 4 to 6 months.
Okay, 4 to 6 months. All right, so here's what I'm going to recommend. I'm not going to get into the whole mom, father, aunt thing. I think if you're sending them $800 right now and that's helping them out, I would just definitely say just go ahead and put another 3 months of $800. So what's that? $2,400. Just extra on top of your emergency fund. So that way, if something does happen to them, you have that extra money that does not impact you or your family if you have to send them $2,400 for an emergency.
And that $800 just becomes you just budget for it.
Yeah.
It's not really a baby step as much as a budget item, right?
It's just a budget item. It's not debt, but it is something that, hey, if something does happen to them next month, you may need to send more than $800.
Right.
And so I would definitely tell them, like, hey, the most we can do is $800 a month, and you all know the most we can do in one lump sum is $2,400. But here's the thing, Ruchi, I want to make sure that you and your husband do not. I don't want to sound rude here, but I just want to make sure that your family is your priority and that everything is okay there. They come after your home, okay? Help where you can, but make sure you're not pulling away from your actual house. That's just my 2 cents on that. Am I missing anything there, John?
There's some cultural implications there that are hard for every family, but I think it's just being practical with here's what we can do.
Right.
And we're going to be smart both in the short term and the long term with savings plans.
Sounds good. Well, America, that's a wrap for this first hour. Thank you, James Child. Thank you, Madison. And hey, this is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit daveramsey.com/show and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell your story.
This is The Ramsey Show.
You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career.
You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. My name is Anthony O'Neill, host of the popular YouTube and podcast show, The Table with Anthony O'Neill. And co-hosting with me today is the one and only national best-selling author, Dr. John Deloney, the host of the Dr. John Deloney Show. And together, we're going to be answering your questions, taking your phone calls. If you have any questions around your life, around your money, around relationships, around your mental health, around anxiety, around depression, around boyfriend-girlfriend stuff, around married couple stuff, hey, listen, this is the Ramsey Show. We want to help you out in every area of your life and give you some guidance, give you some answers. So give us a call, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225, and we'll have a conversation with you. How's the show coming, man?
I was just still marveling at how you managed to pull off naming your show The Table.
Man, you know, it's all good.
That's an inside joke for those of us who thought, hey, what if we didn't name the show after ourselves? And I lost that clearly. We had a lot of meetings to come up with the creatively titled
But the
Deloney
Dr.
Show.
John Deloney Show is a great title, bro.
It is.
And it's doing well.
That's what my mom named me. Yeah, man, it's just on a rocket ship. We're having fun. I don't pay a lot of attention to that stuff as much as the calls that are coming in and the amount of calls people are reaching out. So it's really great, man.
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts. This man is really doing a great job helping people out with their mental health. So listen, check this out. If you have a question for him, not only can you ask him the questions right here on The Ramsey Show, but you can email askjohn@ramseysolutions.com. Again, that's askjohn@ramseysolutions.com, or leave a voicemail at 844-693-3291. Again, that is 844-693-3291 for a chance to have your question featured on his show. And this man gets some interesting questions that I'm so grateful. Well, the company is probably grateful I'm not on the other side answering the questions.
Hey, one day you're going to come on a show and you're going to answer the calls live as they come in.
Hey, man.
And we're just going to get ourselves canceled and be done.
Listen, man. I think the people will love my answer. I'll just get a phone call from Dave. That would be the truth.
Oh, man.
But give us a call, you guys, 888-825-5225. We're here for this hour to take your questions. And Joshua's with us in New York City. Good afternoon, Joshua. How can Dr. D and I help?
Hey, good afternoon, Anthony. Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for calling in.
Sorry about that. Quick background for my question. I am 23, married with one kid, currently on active duty, and I'm considering transitioning back to civilian life.
Okay.
I am looking at using my VA loan to buy a house.
Okay.
A little bit of our financial situation. We're debt-free. We have about $30,000 in savings. Currently investing 16% with a 5% match into TSP. So we figure we can afford about a $200,000 house with $20,000 down. My question is, should I spend that much on a house, or should I buy something cheaper and put the $20,000 into renovating it?
I think that's totally up to you, Joshua. You know, my whole thing is with that VA loan, just be very careful. I want you to put down at least 20%, 10 to 20%, or actually 20%, so you can avoid some other stuff within it. Personally, more of a conventional loan, to be honest, as well. But as far as in the kind of house that you purchase, it's really up to you and your family. If you all want to get into a house that you actually that you build up, that's fine as well. But the amount down has nothing to do with that, though. The amount down goes down to, I want you to avoid the PMI, and I want you to have equity in your house. And you need at least 20% equity in your home to avoid a private mortgage insurance that would be also attached to your loan. So I'm going to say always stick to that 20% going down, bare minimum is 10. But if you want to get a house with 20% down to buy something that you can do a fixer-upper, that's fine. But if this is going to be your family's home, forever home, then, man, I'm actually going with something newer, and I'm just going to go that route. So that way I don't have any headaches.
Joshua, I think it's a personal decision with you and your wife. I tend towards buying a less expensive house. Anthony likes his stuff fancier than me. And I'm not even, that's not
that's facts.
Knocking anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody just does that a little bit different. I like to spend my money in other places. And so I think that's just going to be a personal decision. I would, before you just go sign on a VA loan, do call and call the mortgage company that's not associated with the VA.
Yeah.
That you are going to get a higher rate sometimes with the VA. And if you've got that much money down, there's no sense in even going through it if it's not the best rate and they're not going to treat you right?
Yeah.
So call Churchill Mortgage, get a good rate from them, and let them know that you're a veteran and have them walk you through that process.
Yeah, I totally respect the veteran process, but I agree with Dr. D here. I would definitely call Churchill Mortgage, see if you can get into a conventional loan with that 20% down, and you'll be better off there. I can almost guarantee you on that. And you know what, Dr. D, this is what I like to tell people. Is you just said something that's so good. You would tend to go towards a cheaper home. I do like my stuff probably a little bit more fancier. There's nothing wrong with either one of us.
No.
Because we worked hard. We followed the baby steps, and we worked hard so we can do what we want to do.
Right.
You like going, shooting and hunting. I don't. That ain't me.
Right. You like golfing.
I like golfing.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? But who wants to sit out there in the cold weather waiting on deers to come by all day?
Who wants to chase a silly white ball all day?
Yes, me.
Just dragging a bag of clubs.
Hey, yes.
Come on, man.
But see, here's the thing, though, America. Once you actually do the work, you do the work so you can have freedom and options to do what you want to do.
Right.
And I think that's the beauty of this plan. Is you're going to live like no one else so you can live like no one else. So you can live the way you and your family wants to live. Stop America saying, oh, you shouldn't do that. You should go buy a Dave car. Well, listen here. I don't think, I won't say that. But Dave car doesn't have to be a hoopty. Okay. You can literally do what you want to do. And that's one thing that I really want people to know is like, hey, make the best decision for you and your family. As long as you're debt free, as long as you got a fully funded emergency fund and you're investing into your future, make the decision that's best for you. I may not like your decision, but who cares? If you're debt free, you follow the baby steps, go do you.
And that's why you got friends to come over and give you a hard time on your front porch about your decisions, right?
Yeah.
To laugh at you about playing golf, for God's sake.
Oh, my goodness, man. You know what? Hey, listen. Me and Dave love playing golf.
I was going to say you could be like, oh, man, and Dave does both of them.
Dave does. And he's good at both of them, too. Especially the hunting part. Oh, Jesus. I love it. 888-825-5225. We're here 1 more hour with you all right here on The Ramsey Show.
Folks, it's an honor to tell you about the Army National Guard. Not only are they big supporters of our high school curriculum, but they also give you the opportunity to impact your local communities. Whether your goals are to get an education, serve your country, or have a better life, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Plus, they offer unbelievable financial benefits. Secure your future today. Visit nationalguard.com/Ramsey to find out more.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. My name is Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality. Joined in the studio with me is Dr. John Deloney, also a Ramsey personality. And James is with us in Austin, Texas. Good afternoon, James. How can Dr. D and I help?
Yes, I was calling to see how do I help my mother get current on her bills while in baby step number 2?
While you are in baby step number 2, James?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. How much debt are you currently in right now?
Right now, I have, it's a car loan. I'm consolidated. It's probably about 17 grand.
Okay.
It's consolidated.
When you say consolidated, what you mean? What do you mean?
Like, I have two car notes on one.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. All right,
Yeah.
so 17K. Yeah. All right, got you. 2 cars. All right. And now, what's the responsibility with your mom? Are you trying to help her with her car note, her credit card bills too?
No, sir. I'm just trying to help her at least get caught up on her bills, like as far as everyday essential bills.
Oh, like lights,
Yes,
gas,
sir.
utilities, stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And what's the ballpark of that?
Currently, she just doesn't make enough, and she's having health problems, so she can't really do much as far as she just works part-time right now.
Okay.
So if you get her current today, what does it look like next? What does it look like April 1st and May 1st?
It's probably going to be continuous, honestly.
Okay. Is y'all's relationship such that you could sit down and talk to her about moving, coming up with a new plan? Or is this, I know these messy situations where she's just is going to do what she's going to do and that you have to make hard choices.
Right. I've tried to talk to her about it. There's days that she seems like she's on board, others that she's not.
Okay.
But it's just one of those deals. At the end of the day, she's just not making much income, and due to her health problems, she can't really do much as far as an actual 9-to-5 job.
Are you the only child, James?
No, sir. I have 2 other brothers.
Okay. And are they trying to help as well?
They do when they can. One of them's still underage. The other one is working, and he's in a mess himself as far as financial goes.
Cool.
When you say underage, so you have a little brother still living at home in this situation?
Yes, I do, and that's what I feel like I'm kind of trapped because at the end of the day, not only that she has health problems, it's kind of hard to see her fall. And my younger brother just there to fall with her because, he can't really do much.
Yeah.
How old are you real quick, James?
I'm 23.
Okay.
You married?
I'm engaged.
Engaged? Okay. So this is a hard situation that's going to here's the challenge for you. One, you've got a little brother here, you got a minor in a situation. And if your mom falls too far behind, if her health problems become too big of a situation where she can't take care of him, he's going to get taken out of that house. And you know that.
Right.
You also don't want to see your mom get foreclosed on, right? Get her home taken away or become homeless. And at the same time, you're not in a position to do a whole lot of help. And so you end up trying to float till the next month into the next month. And then it just turns into this cyclical cycle. That was redundant. But you end up in this situation that never gets any better, right? So what you've got to do, less than worried about the baby steps at this point, you've got to get all of your brothers in a room. You got to get your mom in a room. And you all have to have a map it out, plan it out, truth-telling conversation. And if mom can't hear it and doesn't want to be on board, then what you're going to have to do is figure out a situation for your little brother, whether that you invite him to come live with you or one of your other brothers can take care of him. You've got a minor that you got to deal with, and I'm worried about him getting taken away. And number 2, I don't know if you got to sit down with Social Security, whether you got to sit down with community resources there in Austin. I know there's a million community resources there, but you're at a place now where the action is not, hey, how can I get a few more extra bucks to help this thing? Because this thing is systemic. This thing is ongoing. So somebody, and I'm looking at you now because you called us, has to plant a flag in the yard and say no more. Mm-hmm. As a group, as a family, I'm calling this part's over. We may all have to work a little bit differently. It may be 3 or 4 years of us doing things that we don't want to be doing to help out mom, to help out little brother, to change the entire trajectory of the ship. But, man, just saying, hey, how do I budget? This is a bigger deal than that, right? And this is not going to be easy.
No, it's not.
Your brothers are going to hate on you. Your mother's going to look at you and say, who do you think you are talking to me? Your little brother's probably got his friends and his community. It's going to be hard. But somebody's got to turn and stare down this forest fire and say no more, right?
And I think the turning point for me was when you said, hey, even if I caught my mother up today, we're going to have the same problem going into the next month.
Right.
So, James, here is and everyone listening in America, and I say this all the time, your home is your priority, okay? There's nothing wrong with telling your parents, hey, I can help, but here's my limit. Mm-hmm. If that's $100 a month, that's your limit. You are helping. If you are not in a position to help, there is nothing wrong with saying, hey, I cannot help. I have a responsibility to take care of my home, to set myself up to be able to provide for me and my future wife. That's my responsibility. And so I think before you go to this meeting, because Dr. D is right, you have to have a family meeting. Before you go to that family meeting, you need to sit down and look at your budget because paying off your debt is your priority. But I have no problem with you saying, hey, Mom, I'm going to give you $100 because I understand you're going through a health issue. You have some other stuff. So here's $100. Here's $200. Here's that number that doesn't hurt you and prevent you from paying and attacking your debt because you are about to be married. The last thing I want you to do, man, and hear me clearly, is get married. And then now you and your wife are having arguments about your mom and that's your mother outside of your house. And I want to be sensitive because if my parents were hurting, man, I'm going to help. But I would definitely say I'm going to help, but there's a limit at my help. And I think the responsibility has to come back on your mom to really step up and to really start taking care of herself and her son.
Or allow herself to be taken care of, right? Which may mean we got to sell this house.
Yeah.
We going to have to move down to a one-bedroom, right? Yeah. So it may be that her health problems and any number of other issues aren't going to allow her to go get another job, to go work 3 jobs to pick this up. But you got to allow yourself then to be helped, right?
You have to. You have to.
All right, so today's Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window covering. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use promo code Ramsey to get the best deal. Rules and restrictions apply. Anthony, I can't wait to get your answer on this. Today's question comes from Scott in Detroit. My oldest son doesn't want to play high school football anymore, and I feel like I've been punched in the gut. How do I get over being disappointed about this?
This is a real question.
That's a real question.
You got punched in the gut because your son says he doesn't want to get punched in the gut. I mean, you're the expert on this.
I'm asking you. So take football out.
I think your son has the right to choose what sports and what activities he desires to do. It's not your son's job to live your dreams or the dreams you didn't accomplish. And it sounds like the father is upset that, his son is not playing a sport that he really wanted to play. And so it's bad for us to push our dreams onto our children when they're not theirs.
We have a society of parents living vicariously through their children. I want them to get grades so I can go tell somebody. I want to play soccer so that I can tell my kids that my kid got a soccer scholarship. Scott, go hug your son.
Go hug him.
Go hug your son, and then become a cello fan or a flute fan or whatever he's going to do. Be a fan of your son, not what your son does.
That's it. Man, and stop. I'm not going to say nothing else. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. My name is Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, #1 national best-selling author of the book Debt-Free Degree. And joining me in the studio today is also a national best-selling author and the host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, the one and only Dr. John Deloney.
So, Anthony, hey, you hit a big milestone with the Anthony O'Neill YouTube channel, the show. Tell us what's going on.
Oh, man, we just impacting lives, having a real relevant and relatable conversation around how to build true wealth and get out of debt and really start building healthy relationships, man. And so we're growing rapidly fast over there, doing our show over there. And a lot of people, ask questions and some people get offended. But, my audience is I really have a heart for that younger generation, that 18 to about 34. Because I think we do a lot for the adults. I think we do a lot for that older generation. But I think the best time to hit them is when they're 18, is when they're 19, when they're 20, when they just now leaving the house. Because I remember that season when I left my house at 18 years old, I racked up $35,000 in debt, $15,000 in credit card, $10,000 in furniture bill from a particular furniture store I will not name here, and then $10,000 in student loans. And when I really stepped back and looked at why did I make those decisions, it was because I was trying to impress my peers. I was trying to impress the ladies, just to be honest. I was trying to look like how I wanted to be received rather than actually just be who God made me to be. And culture, the world, the community said, hey, this is how you have to be. This is how you have to look. This is how you have to act to be successful and to be respected. And so I racked up all that debt at the age of 18, man, and made some dumb decisions, just to be real. Got into an argument with my father. Thought I was a grown man when I wasn't a grown man. I ended up homeless, sleeping in the back of my car for a period of my life, all because of the poor decisions that I made. And so when I look at my brand now, it's like, man, I really want to speak to that 18-year-old. I really want to speak to that 19-year-old. I have a heart for everyone, but my passion is really to that young person, 18 to 34, who if they just avoid debt, man, they can be wealthy and retire when they turn 45, 50 years old. If they can avoid debt, avoid taking out student loans and graduate college and land a job making $80,000 to $100,000 a year, and they start investing 15% of their income, now they're focusing on building their last name and purchasing homes at a young age and starting businesses at a young age. And so over at the table, man, with Anthony O'Neill, I'm having that real relevant culture talk. I'm going against what culture is teaching. And I'm attacking it, so the language over there is a little different, but it's because I'm going after a particular culture that is saying, hey, to be cool, to be sexy, to have swag, you got to be in debt, you got to be like this. No, I think being saved, being debt free, being married to one woman, being married to one man, that's the new cool, that's the new sexy. And so that's the conversation we're having over there, man, just keeping it real relevant.
I love it, man. Well, and it sounds like people are desperate for somebody to cut through the nonsense and just tell them the truth.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
to listen, to actually listen.
Yeah,
and then to provide
absolutely
some truth, right?
Thanks for asking for that, man. But America, if y'all know anybody, or if this is you in that age bracket, man, send them over. They can go over to my Instagram at Anthony O'Neill, or go over to my YouTube channel. That is also The Table with Anthony O'Neill. Man, we are at 220,000 subscribers. I don't know what God is doing, but just last January, we only had like 43,000 subscribers, and now we're at 223. I'm like, okay, God, you up to something. So we're doing something right over there, man.
It's awesome.
So appreciate you. You was on the show, and you rocked it, and so I love it. Rachel was on the show. It was amazing. So we got to get Dave on the show, but I got to talk to him first before we get on the show. Make sure Dave know, hey, man, this is, these are young people. These are a little cool, can you,
I'm going to keep my job and keep my mouth shut at the same time.
888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Dr. D and myself here, Anthony O'Neill, are taking your phone calls about money, about life, about anything. So give us a call. One line just opened up. Madison's sitting there looking at it saying, hey, we got one line. So give her a call. Keenan is with us in Lincoln. Good afternoon, Keenan. This is Anthony and Dr. D. How can we help?
Hey, actually, I'm sorry. That was Kevin, not Keenan. But
what's up, Kevin?
No problem.
Oh, okay.
Hey, appreciate it. So my wife and I were on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. let's see. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. We're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. We take home usually probably maybe $2,000 more a month than our expenses. We're paying extra on the house. Of course, we're putting our 15% to retirement. And my question is, what is a reasonable amount that we can budget for, fun money, for just personal expenses that we don't have to clear with each other? It's kind of our own business. I've got a lot of hobbies. My wife, not so much.
Yeah.
What's a reasonable amount to set aside?
I mean, I think the reasonable amount, Kevin, is going to be really based upon you and your wife's comfort zone. Okay. Once you sit down and you all are very detailed with the budget, which it sounds like you guys are, I'm assuming that you're already debt free and you have a fully funded emergency fund. Mm-hmm. And so, because you're already on baby steps 4 through 7. And so, do you have any kids right now, Kevin?
No kids.
No kids. All right, cool. So y'all doing 15% of baby step number 4, and you're switching over to baby step number 6, paying the extra on the mortgage. So you're in a perfect situation. And so I think for you, like something that I've actually have my parents doing right now, my dad actually in their budget line has a certain amount of money that my mom can just go out there and spend. My mom is a coupon shopper. She loves couponing, and she can go couponing every single day. And so my dad was like, hey, I don't want you to call and ask me every single day, can you spend $10? Like, go spend $10. And so they have a line item on their budget in every dollar that says, it just says wifey's, aka mama, because I give her some money as well, to shop. And so if that budget is, say, for an example, $500, my mom just knows she has $500. But here's the thing, she updates the budget every single day. So if she spends $20, she puts $20 inside of every dollar, and she knows she has $480 left to spend within that budget. So I think from you and your wife, just sit down, be very, very detailed, but then also before you actually say, hey, Kevin, you can spend $500 on golfing or on your hobbies. Baby, you can spend $500 on this. I would actually have an extra cushion for unexpected expenses for the family. Mm-hmm. So for an example, I would say, here's $1,000. That's for unexpected things that may come up. We may say, hey, let's drive down to the beach and just get a room this month and just celebrate something. I don't know. I would have just an extra cushion on your budget. Then below that, have different spending amounts that you all can enjoy, because I'm gonna have that too, because I'm a golfer. I love playing basketball, and so I love to just do that. And I don't want to have to ask my wife, hey babe, I want to go golfing today with the boys, I'm gonna go do this. And
hey Kevin, did this pop up on a particular incident?
Well, yeah, so I previously had a side hustle of doing a bicycle taxi for Husker home games and arena events. Uh-huh. And that took care of my personal expenses then. And, that was just kind of my money that I was earning on the side. Well, COVID, of course, shut that down in the last year. So I took a different job, a little part-time Saturday job, and I was miserable at it. Yeah. And I just recently put in my 2-week notice with it and told my wife, we're just going to have to start taking from our full-time job paychecks for some of these, fun expenses that I have. And she wasn't super happy about that. But my thought process was, gosh, we're doing everything right, and we're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. I should be able to spend a little money here and there, as long as we're still staying on track with our goals to, spend on personal expenses without, having to have the nose to the grindstone.
And you're both right, Kevin. Yeah. You're both right. Working side hustles so you can, quote unquote, have my money and you can't touch my money, that's going to cause problems down the road as you're experiencing now. And at the same time, I get wanting to spend, have some fun, play, right? So sit down and have a hard conversation with each other. Y'all get on the same page. Y'all get this squared up, man. Y'all are good folks. This is The Ramsey Show.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. My name is Anthony O'Neill. Sitting in, joining me in the studio today is Dr. John Deloney. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. It's the number to give us a call right now. We have one phone line just opened up. But before we jump back to the phone lines, I want to tell y'all a quick story in about 30 seconds. I remember in Oceanside, California, John, I was at the beach. I was in my car, and I was sitting there just with my friends. And on this day, a lot of my friends pulled up in Mercedes, pulled up in BMWs, pulled up in Lexuses, pulled up in, you name it, some real nice Highline cars. And back in these days, back in the 2000s, you know, you had the spinner wheels. So when you stopped,
they kept going.
The wheels kept going.
Right.
And so that was just a big thing back in them days. So see, they out there laughing at me. The young one's like, what is he talking about? And the older one's like, yeah, I remember that. And so we looked like we had money. We looked like we were balling. But when my boy stepped out of one of his cars, me and my boy said, man, you know what? That dude driving a $50,000 car, but he lives at home in his mom's basement. And another dude jumped out of his car to go to the beach, and he's like, hey, man, that's such and such. And dude, don't he stay with like 6 other brothers in the house? And when we looked at everyone, including ourselves, we all looked like we'd had money, but we were living paycheck to paycheck. All of us had debt. All of us were we had the look, but we didn't have the money. And that was the day I left that beach saying, I am not going to be this guy anymore. I changed things around. I already had a job. I went out there and got 2 more jobs. After I got off of my full-time job, man, I went and washed cars, and then I started delivering newspapers in the evening. Because I was like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of looking like I have some money, but I have no money.
Okay, but I want to stop right there because I think that's an important moment that people get hung up on. You had this moment of clarity, right?
Right.
I like to call it a thin space when suddenly everything gets real clear.
Right.
And then you said, today's this day.
Yeah.
Whether I'm going to get out of debt, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to be a better husband, I'm going to get some new tools because I know I'm not being the dad I need to be, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And then that's when it gets real hard.
Yes.
It's not when you wake up the next day and it's all good, right? You do that first workout and you are so sore that following day you can't move.
Yeah.
You go tell everybody how I'm going to be a new dad and they'll roll their eyes at you.
Right.
Or, hey, I'm getting another job, and your guys are like, all right, cool, we're still going to the beach.
Right.
And suddenly you find yourself all by yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's right when it starts getting hard.
Absolutely.
And then you find yourself 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and you're lonely, you're exhausted, you're sore, you fill in the blank, right?
Right.
What kept you going?
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. My why kept me going. I didn't want to end up like my parents, and my parents are great people. I want to say that very clearly. I think sometimes my words get kind of misunderstood. I have great parents, but also from my parents, I learned I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to struggle. And so I quickly turned things around. I went Gazelle Intense. I took Financial Peace University. I started learning exactly what stewardship meant. I started learning exactly what tithing actually meant and how it benefited me more than it benefited the actual church. I really started to understand what money was and how it was a tool to help me accomplish the things God has put me on this earth to do. And so I say all that to say this, you guys. If that sounds like you, to where you thought about money wrong, you're tired of being sick and tired, you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, you're tired of not accomplishing your dreams, then it's time for a new way of thinking. Because you have to believe you can get rid of debt and you can take control of your money. Because here's the truth. You can. We all can. And it won't take nearly as long as what you think. So with Ramsey Plus, we'll kick you off with 90 days of guided help so you can put more of your money back in your bank account. Not in their bank account, in your bank account. Why work Monday through Friday? Why go through Monday through Friday with labor so someone else can get the fruit of your labor? No. We're going to stop that this year because you're going to learn practical ways to get small, consistent wins that add up to big results and better habits. And that means you'll get where you want to go faster, debt-free, and spending your money without worrying about a dime. This year, you can make more progress on your debt and saving than you ever have. I want you to get Ramsey Plus and start living the life you want faster. To start Ramsey Plus for free, I want you to go to DaveRamsey.com right now. I want you to go to DaveRamsey.com. I want you to sign up with Ramsey Plus. You're going to get 90 days of guided help, you guys. This is the thing that transformed my life. And I love what we do because what we do is what I personally do. This has nothing to do with Dave Ramsey. This is Financial Peace University. Ramsey Plus changed my life.
Right.
And because it changed my life, I want to help others change their life.
That's right.
And Ramsey Plus is the way to go.
Love it.
Sorry to sound so passionate about it, you guys, but I mean, this thing changed my life. And my kids will never know what it feels like to struggle. My kids will never know what it feels like to see their parents living paycheck to paycheck. My kids will go to Disney World. My kids will be able to go to Israel and walk the land where Jesus walked, because their father and their mother do not have debt. They're going to be so confused. Why do you have debt? To the world. Because their parents don't have it, because of what I decided to do back when I was 22 years old. So check it out, you guys. Ramsey Plus, DaveRamsey.com. And Ansley is with us in Athens, Georgia. Good afternoon, ma'am. How can Dr. D and I help?
Hey, Dr. D. Hey, Anthony. So my husband, I'm sorry, let me start. We are on baby step 2. Okay. We have paid off $112,000 last May.
Whoa. Don't go by that too quick. Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to blow by that one.
Yes. Let's go.
Yeah, less than a year. We have gotten 112. We moved down in car and we've paid off. We have a car left and some student loans, and that's it.
Very cool. So what's up? How can we help?
So what I'm calling for is my husband recently got awarded 100% VA disability, and with that, the kids go to college for free.
Okay.
How it works is they basically get a $1,300 a month stipend, and that can go towards whatever needs of college that it needs to go towards. So my question was, we don't want to open a 529 and have that money set just for school if they end up getting scholarships and also having the VA money. So what amount do we save for college, if any, and what is the best? Would it be best to put it in a mutual fund, or what's the best way to go about that?
I mean, I would still go ahead and put it inside of a 529, because here's the thing. Whatever school your son or daughter goes to, you can actually withdraw. So let's say, for an example, school costs you $10,000 a semester and they actually have some scholarships. Well, as long as you have documentation from the school, you can withdraw that $10,000. Now, you can't withdraw more than $10,000, but you can withdraw that without paying any penalties on it, because it is, you can technically say it's going towards the school. But I would still invest the money into a 529, because that's going to be the best way to grow. And let's say, for an example, they don't get all the scholarships and the VA and the GI Bill doesn't take care of all their school. Now you have the means to go ahead and provide for it. But I still think the best option right now for your kids, for your son's college, is to go ahead and put inside a 529, because there are some things that will come in your benefit to actually pull out.
Okay, and what's a good amount if that is being planned to take care of most of their college? Do we still plan to put in the full amount of college?
How does your son, real quick?
So we have 2 12-year-olds, a 3-year-old, and an 18-month-old.
Okay, cool. And so here's the thing. Right now, college right now is going to cost you about $100,000 right now to go to school for a 4-year degree plus room and board. So around their age bracket, it's going to be right about maybe $115,000. So I would just look at that math and just see what do you have to do to get there to get to that $115,000 bracket for an in-state school. We don't do out-of-state unless we're going to pay cash to get a scholarship. So in-state's going to cost you about $115,000, $120,000 by the time they get to that age. So just look at the numbers and see what you need to set aside to get there. But such a great question. Dr. D, such a great hour with you. James, Madison, thank you so much. America, this is the end of this hour. This is The Ramsey Show.
This is James Childs, producer of The Ramsey Show. You can listen to all our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. browse by topic, or even send clips to your friends. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, your money, your relationships, you name it. We're here to talk with you. My name is Anthony O'Neill, host of the popular YouTube and podcast show, The Table with Anthony O'Neill. And co-hosting with me today is national best-selling author and host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, the one and only Ramsey personality, Dr. John Deloney. And we're together taking your phone calls today. Give us a call, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225, or you can hit us both up on social media. I am at Anthony O'Neill. Dr. John is at
John Deloney.
John Deloney. I was trying to get over to your stuff.
We go complex in this house.
We really do. We
complex.
really complex. So if you have any questions, you have any concerns, any comments, hit up Dr. John at John Deloney. You can hit me up on Instagram at at Anthony O'Neill. But right now we're taking your phone calls, 888-825-5225. And Renee is with us in Chicago. Good afternoon, Renee. How can Dr. John and I help?
Hi, guys. First of all, thanks so much for letting me be on your show.
Yeah.
But I had a question regarding just student loans in general. So a little background. I'm starting a new job next week, and I'm going to make about $65,000 a year. So not, a good first start for my first job outside of school. I just graduated from grad school.
Yeah.
I'm 23 years old. And I also have about $42,000 in federal student loan debt. So I guess my question is about the best plan, the best way possible to pay this off as soon as possible. But also, if there's also a chance to do that while also taking care of myself, still eating out, every once in a while at a nice place, or buying myself nice things every once in a while,
No.
So I was just wondering if there's a way to budget that.
Renee.
Yes.
No. You don't have any. You don't have any time. You don't have any resources to be buying yourself nice things. Okay. Right now, you're going to stay with the college mindset. You are broke.
You did nice things to yourself for the last 6 years.
Okay.
But I don't want to be broke.
Listen.
That's a problem for 18-year-old Renee.
Yes. Listen.
23-year-old Renee is paying the piper.
All right, Renee.
Yeah.
So outside of these student loans, do you have any other debt?
No, I don't. Fortunately, I don't. Undergrad, I didn't have debt, luckily.
Okay. Cool.
And I actually currently still live with my parents.
Okay, good.
And I do plan on moving to the city soon.
The city?
To Chicago.
The expensive city?
Yeah, that's where the job is.
You can't live outside of the city and drive into the city?
Well, my plan was to stay at home until I have to go back to work because of COVID, everyone's working from home now. So right. I'm not going to move now if I don't have to. But when we do plan on going back, then I do plan on going. But the rent there is about $1,200, $1,300 a month. So it's not.
How old are you, Renee?
23.
I'm 23.
What's your career? What did you go to grad school for?
So I'm doing market research and consulting.
Okay. All right. Check this out. Renee.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
I said, check this out. Okay. You're not going to like this.
Okay.
You got a pen and paper near you? Get a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Or just yeah. Because I'm about to give you some stuff you need to do.
Okay.
Here's number one. Just write down no. Okay. No. You don't have time to buy yourself nice things, and no, you don't have time to be going on nice vacations. No, you don't have time to be going out with your friends every other weekend. No, the answer is no. I want you to put that up in your mirror every single day and look at the word no. Okay. Number two, is I think right now, at 23 years old, staying home, I'm okay with that. But at 23, also at the same time, I want you to have a solid plan of how you're going to get outside of your parents' house. I don't want you to be there until you're 30. I don't want you to stay there until you're 27. I'm going to say give yourself at least a good year at home.
Well, she's got to move as soon as COVID comes. As soon as you go back to work in house, you got to get out, right?
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
be in that city.
She said that's her requirement. I get you. I'm just saying if things prolong, I'm saying she needs to have an end date. You need to have an end date of when you're going to leave. And then here's the thing. I'm not moving to the city, Renee. I get it. You're young. You want to be closer to the city, get closer to your job. But $1,200 a month right now on rent, when you can probably live on the outskirts of the city and drive something nice and live in something maybe around $800, $900 a month will be a better option. Because right now, you need to attack this $42,000 in student loan debt. And here's the thing. You're making great money. So if you get on a strict budget, if you can figure out how to get your living expenses very low, very low, you should be able to throw at least $25,000 towards this $42,000 this year. You should be able to be out of debt by next year. And I'm talking about like you're getting this job. You're going to be driving for Uber. You're going to be trying to figure out something you can do on the side to generate another $20,000. Because if you really get gazelle intense, Renee, you can honestly be debt free within the next year, 12 to 14 months, you could be debt free because right now you don't have any expenses. So right now, if you're staying at home, man, I'm throwing everything towards debt. I'm gonna throw my mom and dad a couple $100s for food, electricity, and water bills. But outside of that, man, I'm throwing everything at this $42,000. So that way, when you do leave your home, you are debt free. And you're still going to live in the outskirts because you need to set aside that 3 to 6 months of expenses.
And listen, Renee, I promise, Anthony and I get it. You went to grad school. You're smart. You're fancy. You're 23.
Yeah.
You have you're going to go to the big city and you're going to live it up.
Yeah, exactly.
But listen, you feel like you've arrived. You feel like you're 100 years old. You walk a little bit taller. It's going to be good. What I'm telling you is this. On your 25th birthday, if you are debt-free.
Not if, she will be.
Yeah, I like that. You will be debt-free on your 25th birthday. You're going to realize that at the age of 25, you aren't very old. You're going to realize that you have your entire life ahead of you to do whatever you want to do because 23-year-old Renee sucked it up and got it done. Now, listen, you're looking at a guy right now who, with a young child, me and my wife moved into a dorm at a college so we wouldn't have expenses. Anthony lived in his car. We have done some extreme things. We've done some crazy people. Our friends have been like, what are you doing? You know what we're doing? We're changing everything because this game isn't going to play. And I'll tell you this, at 25, you're not going to remember those meals you blew that money on at 23. You're not going to remember that party on top of that party on top of that party. You're not. I'm telling you, you're not going to remember it. What you are going to love doing is waking up on your 25th birthday, having no payments, and thinking, I think I'm just going to move to fill in the blank, because you can.
So, Renee, hold on the line. I'm going to have Madison give you a copy of Destroy Your Student Loans. It's a quick read that I read. I want you to stay online and get that. And just remember, the caliber of your future will be determined by the choices you make today. Make the right one by listening to Dr. John and I, all right? This is The Ramsey Show.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
St. Patrick's Day brought some folks a little luck this year. On Wednesday, the IRS announced that it's pushing the federal tax deadline back. I already did my taxes.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Everyone in the U.S. now automatically gets an extra month to file, with the date moved from April 15th to May 17th.
Amen.
That's for federal returns, folks, not estimated quarterly payments or state taxes. Why did it get pushed back? Well, the pandemic's still affecting things, and when you throw in the very recent tax changes, the April 15th deadline was looking like a lot of trouble for a lot of people. With the change to May 17th, you have an extra month not just to file, but to also pay your tax bill. If you're in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, your tax date from the IRS is still June 15th because of the storms that hit you. So what does this all mean? Well, it means you have extra time to do your taxes. But if you can file now, especially if you're due for a refund, go ahead and do it. That advice comes straight from the IRS. And here's the thing, Anthony, I was a college professor for years. And whenever I would say, all right, everybody, I know it's you're stressed. I'm gonna push this paper out 3 more weeks. Everybody just waited 2.5 more weeks to get that. You know what I mean? They just moved their stress down. If you can file. Get it done
right now. Yeah, get it
If you
done.
need help filing, either online or the trusted tax advisor, we can help. Text TAX to 33789 and get it done. That's TAX 33789. I used the Ramsey tax software this year. For my house.
Did you?
It was simple. It was awesome. It was quick. I did it at my kitchen table. It was nothing. It was good.
You and your
man.
wife.
Yeah, it was simple, man. It was awesome.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, Jesse's with us in Arizona. Good afternoon. How can Dr. D and I help?
All right, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Doing well, man. How can we help?
All right. This question is more for Dr. John Deloney in a relationship aspect.
I love it.
Currently, let me just start out by saying I'm madly in love with this woman. There isn't a thing I wouldn't do.
Jesse, anytime somebody starts out with that sentence, I know we're going to have some trouble.
This is going to be interesting.
No. Well, maybe a little bit, but because she is probably listening to this. So the problem we're having right now is she comes home every day from her job, her job, and she's unhappy. She's crying. She calls me, 2-3 times a day because we just talk to each other a lot throughout the day. And it's always complaints about her job. She wants to get out, and she hates it. She hates her job. I don't like the word hate, but she hates her job.
Okay.
She has a cosmetology. She is a certified cosmetologist, and that is her passion, and she loves it.
Okay.
But the problem we're running into is she doesn't want to just work at some average place where she's a cosmetologist. She wants to do hair. She wants to be in her own studio and make good money. Well, right now she's in a secure job where it gives her a secure paycheck. Our incomes differ by about double. So I make about double what she does.
Okay.
I told her I have your back.
Yep.
No matter what. I just want to get you out of this job and get you into your career. Now, we've been on and off for about 20 years. So this isn't a new relationship. No, we're not married. We're going to get married.
Okay.
But we need our relationship more secure.
Okay.
In order to do that, I need her to be secure at her job, at her career. So I want to get her out of the insurance, what she's doing right now, because she does write checks and stuff for big insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to get her into cosmetology, her being happy. And we've thought of other plans on how to do it, but she doesn't really trust me per se. When it comes to having her back, she's always been a single mom with 2 boys. She's always been the provider, the alpha male of the house. Now I step in, and I know the kids and I know her, but she's still used to being the major breadwinner, the person who always has to be there for the boys.
Yeah.
And I get it. She's a mom. I wouldn't want her to be any other way. Your kids first. But how do I get her to trust me to allow me to take over some of the finances in the house so she can pursue her career and get out of this job?
Man, you're not going to like my answers. How direct you want me to be?
100%.
You know what? Hey, I'm on Dave's show. I'm going to be real direct. I'm going to take it from old man here. Here's the thing. Number one, if you've known her for 20 years and she doesn't trust you, there's a reason.
Yep.
Number two, you can't make her do anything.
Yep.
And the fact that you're trying to make her do something is only making her not trust you more.
Well,
okay.
This is the thing, Doctor. This is something that she wants to do as well.
Hey, hold on.
Like
Jesse.
expresses it.
Jesse.
Yeah.
She's raised 2 boys.
Yeah.
She can do anything.
Oh, I know.
She can say she wants to change, but she doesn't. Because if she did, she would. Okay?
Yeah.
And so what you have to do is be in love with the person she is, not the person you think you can mold and create for her.
Yeah. No, I'm totally in love with her the way she is. I wouldn't want her any other way.
Hey, but
no matter what job she's in.
But listen, brother, what you told me is when she can finally deal with this with her job stuff, then finally I can marry her. And what you're telling her is, when you become the person that I want you to be, then you'll be good enough for me. Not till then. And so you've got your relationship.
That way, though?
Absolutely,
1,000%, brother.
It's been 20 years.
I wrote down on my paper while you were talking, your relationship math is off. If you worked for Amazon, they'd fire you because you cannot make an algorithm. Your A plus B.
Good thing I don't work out.
That's right. Huh? Hey, listen. You have walked into a situation where you want to be the savior of it. I love your heart, man. I see what you see, somebody that you care about.
I just want to support her. That's
right.
all I want to do. I don't want to give her. I don't want to give her ultimatums. I don't want to give her choices. I want her to make those choices. I just want her to trust me that I'll have her back.
That's right. So listen,
when it comes to an electric bill comes in and she needs, she doesn't have it. Bam, Dave, I can pay it. Just ask me and I'll pay it.
That's right. So listen. It's your heart is good. Okay, your heart is good here.
Yeah.
You've got to sit down with her, not about what your job's going to be. Give me a solution, not about, hey, I've got your back financially. But you guys have 20 years of stuff y'all got to work through. There's a reason she doesn't trust you to pick up I trust Anthony. I met Anthony a year ago, and I trust him that if I call him and said, hey, bro, I'm about to cut my lights off, you know what I mean? So there's something there, a 20-year arc of your relationship that there's no trust there. The second thing is, you got to decide, am I going to marry this person for who she is, even if she's in a tough job, or am I going to be out? Because the way you've written this out for yourself, you've provided yourself with a wife when she does what you want her to do. And I know that's not your heart, so it doesn't feel like that's what you've done, but it is. And if she's listening to this, rewind it and say, are those guys crazy? And she'll probably get a tear in her eye and say, no. And then maybe that's going to be the avenue for a hard conversation. Anthony, I can feel you next to me pulsing, man.
I'll probably get in trouble like I did yesterday, so I think I should just
go for it.
Not say what I really want to say.
Say what you're going to say, man.
Because
say what you're going to say.
Again, let me set this up like this. This is not Dave Ramsey's opinion. This is not Dr. John Deloney's opinion. This is Anthony O'Neill's opinion.
I'm scooting over in case you get struck by lightning.
If my friend came home to me and said, I'm still dating this guy after 20 years, I'm telling her to leave. That's just bottom line. I'm not dealing with someone. No.
By the way, that's my opinion too.
Yeah, that's your opinion too?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Give me some love. Yeah, because I felt it's like 20 years. There's a reason why she doesn't trust you, and it's not just all on her. There's something inside of you, the man, that is not allowing her to open up. Now, again, I'm not a relationship expert. This is your lane. I'm just saying, if my cousin, if my sister, if my friend came to me, I'm saying, baby girl, move on. I mean, if a man don't have your heart after a year, 2 years, that ain't the one.
Well, if it's about achievement, right? It's about when you do these things, then I'm going to be able to love you. Yeah. And that's a hard recipe after 20 years.
I was about to say something else, but you know what? This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. My name is Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, and joining me in the studio today is Ramsey personality, national best-selling author, Dr. John Deloney, and together we're taking your phone calls. We have this segment and one more segment after this, so give us a call, 888-825-5225. Again, the number here is 888-825-5225, and Sean is with us in Phoenix, Arizona. Good afternoon, Sean. How can Dr. D and I help?
Hi, guys. Thank you very much for taking the call.
Yeah.
So I just graduated from college and I'm debt free. And on top of a great job, I just found out I'm going to be getting a $15,000 gift.
Okay.
Besides that, I'm also engaged, and my fiance owes about $20,000. So my question is, should I invest the $15,000 or should I just give it all to her?
What's the gift from, man?
Yeah.
My parents are downsizing, selling their house, and they're calling it pre-inheritance. Their goal is to spend everything they have. So they said, we'll give you $15,000 now, and maybe that can help you out.
Cool.
Very cool.
Great. How much money do you have in your savings right now, Sean?
So I have about $3,000 in my savings, and then $6,000 in my 401k.
Okay, cool.
When you get married?
Next year.
Next year? Okay.
Next year. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
September 2022, roughly.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm going to say you take that $15,000 and you max out your 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's going to be the first step since you are 100% debt free. And then what's left from there, I'm going to say, do not give that money to your fiance right now. I'm going to say, put that into a savings account. Use that towards your wedding. And if you get married, and let's say you have more money, you can cash flow your wedding. And then once you all get married, check this out. You're not giving her the $15K. You're not giving her money. Now you two are in debt. You're paying off your debt
together.
Right. Okay. So just because you come into the marriage without any debt, the moment you join forces and you become one, you are now back in debt. So then, yes, I would take that check and write off and pay off the debt that you two now have together. But for right now, I'm going to put all that into the savings account. You're not going to touch 3 months of that. Then you can put the rest of it into another savings account to save towards your marriage, save towards your wedding. And then whatever you have left over after that, I would definitely say, babe, on honeymoon night, hey, let's go ahead and start attacking your loans, your debt. And I have some money and I want to put it all towards that because we're in debt together. Make sense, Sean?
Okay, so it's better to wait until after we're married to start helping her out with the loan?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I know you love her, but what happens, let's just say worst case scenario, y'all wake up one day and she says, I don't love you no more.
Yeah.
Now you gave her all this money and you screwed. Now, I'm not saying it will happen.
But it happens a lot, Sean.
But it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't combine your debts yet and until y'all are in this for the long haul.
Yeah. Man, thank you so much for calling in, man. We're praying for you, rooting for you. I believe you're going to be married. I mean, I just believe that, she's you. I could tell you love her because you're talking about spending your money. Anytime a man talks about spending his money on another woman, he loves her. He loves her a lot because I'm about to say something else again. I keep remembering. This is the Ramsey Show, not the table with Anthony O'Neill. Katie is in Jackson. Good afternoon, Katie. How can Dr. D and I help?
Yes, I have a question about student loans. My husband and I started our baby step journey in July 2019, and we are finally on our last debt, which is my $62,000 in student loans. We have not paid on them in over 5 years, and we were wondering if we could offer a settlement, a lump sum, or should we just start doing the monthly payments?
No. Are they in collections?
Yes.
Are they in collections or are they just deferred?
They're not deferred anymore. They are in collections.
So these are private loans?
No, they're federal.
Okay, cool. I would call them and see if they will. More than likely, they won't accept it. But I would definitely give them a call and just offer them something. How much can you put towards them right now, if you could? Because settlement is pretty much one lump sum.
Yes, sir. Right now we have just under $20,000, and that's not including our emergency fund.
Yeah, I would just start making payments on them. I would call them and just immediately go ahead and put that $20,000 down on it right now. and just start making payments towards the rest. You say you've been doing the baby steps since 2019?
Correct.
Okay. So you weren't making minimum payments since 2019?
No.
Okay. All right.
How come you just stopped paying on them?
Well, actually, I never really started. I was in school, and then I went back to school, so they've been deferred. And then we just never started paying off. We were living paycheck to paycheck and not really making the best decisions when we were younger. But then we woke up and had our why, and in July 2019, decided to start paying off all the debt. We paid off a little over $70,000 so far.
Hey, that's amazing. What's your household income right now?
Right now it's 120. We started at around 85, and we've upped it this last year to 120.
Awesome. How many kids do you have?
5.
5 kids. Ooh, Katie.
So here's the thing: you got 5. You got a lot of mouths to feed. You put that $20,000 towards them today. Then immediately goes down to what, $42,000.
Right.
And making what you make, you guys can hustle it and hustle it and hustle. It's going to be a grindy year, and nobody wants another grindy year after the last grindy year.
Especially with 5 kids.
But go, just get it done.
Yeah. Katie, are y'all on the budget, Katie?
Oh, yes, we are. We
Detailed
can budget that will be done by August.
Okay, so it says you'll be done by August of this year or next year?
This year.
Oh, awesome.
Man, well, then
very cool.
We good then. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. I like that, Katie. Yeah, congratulations. I love it. So yeah, just go ahead and put that $20,000 towards it. Give them a call and ask them if they will settle. It depends on, I don't know. I mean, private loans, I know that you can get them to settle. Some agencies, depending on your financial situations, will allow you to settle, but more than likely they will not. Because you can't even file bankruptcy on student loans, and so it's just very tricky on those. But give them a call and see, hey, can we work out something? We got $20,000 as a lump sum we can give towards it right now. Can we knock this down? Get some interest knocked down, maybe. But more than likely they won't. If not, just hey, it's a tad that other $42,000, become debt free, so that way you and your family can move forward. All right, Katie. Stay on the line.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Stay on the line. I'm going to have Madison give you a copy of my Destroy Your Student Loan Debt. It's a quick read. It's about 80 pages long. Take you about a good hour and a half to listen to it. I wrote this last year, Dr. D, because when I wrote the book, Debt Free Degree, and I was out there on book tour, and we've sold thousands of copies of this book. And while I was out there on book tour, every parent, and I mean this, I'm probably over-exaggerating a little bit, but I'll say 9 out of 10 parents came up to me and said, hey, what do I do? I have student loans. How do I pay off my student loans? And I'm like, man. And so I wrote this quick read called Destroy Your Student Loan Debt, the step-by-step plan on how to get rid of your student loan debt quickly. And it's 80 pages long. American, I really want you to get this book, and here's why. Because when we really do the research and study, what's preventing us from reaching our financial goals, what's preventing us from building true wealth, one of the top 3 things was our student loans. Young people are graduating college, going back home, thinking that they pay off their student loans within 3 years, but study shows that it takes them 12 years to pay off their student loans. And if we really go deeper, minority, people of color, it takes them anywhere from 20 to 23 years to pay off their student loans. And so for me, I was like, man, I got to write a book that can really, really help people get out of this student loan crap. And I mean that, you know, because this is preventing people from building wealth, from buying homes, from starting businesses. So I really want y'all to go to DaveRamsey.com/store, get the book, or go to my website, AnthonyNeal.com, get the book, Destroy Your Student Loans. It's $10.
And hey, this last caller makes a great salary, was on the plan.
Yes.
And people just like to act like student loans aren't real.
Yes.
People, they are real.
Yes.
Pay them back. They're a debt. Do what you said you were going to do and get them out of the way.
Hey, this $10 can change your life. Well, they can put like this. This $10 can change the next 10 years of your life. Go to DaveRamsey.com, get the book. scripture and quote today comes from Psalms chapter 33, verses 4. For the word of the Lord is right and true. He is faithful in all he does. Jack Canfield said, for every reason it's not possible, there are hundreds of people who have faced the same circumstances and succeeded.
How often do we feel all by ourselves like we're the only one dealing with this stress, this grief, this pain, this relationship issue?
Wow.
Everybody does, right?
I'm right there with you, brother. Man, good quote. Ben is with us in the beautiful Sydney, Australia. Good afternoon, Ben. How can we help? Man, such an honor to talk to you as well.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. And good morning from Sydney. My question today is, do I buy a small unit, which would be a downsize for our family of 2 kids, in an inflated market, or do I move in with my in-laws in a massive house and save a bit of money?
What's your goals here, man?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I would love to buy a place. We've been married almost 10 years and we have never bought a place. We're 100% debt-free now at the moment. The kind of things that are a bit difficult for us is I still haven't secured a job since Corona. I lost my job due to Corona, but my wife has a successful business. She's on maternity leave at the moment, and I'm actually looking after the business for her unpaid. So it gets a little bit trickier, but the inflated market in Sydney is pretty similar to what I'd imagine is happening in Los Angeles at the moment, where everyone's leaving, moving out a little bit further, and people are moving into the area where I live. So the rental and the sales are going up 20-30%. So we're just a little bit unsure what the right step would be, either for the next 3 to 6 months or a bit long term.
Do you have a lease coming up? Why do you have to move right now?
Yeah, unfortunately we do. The owner sold and the new owners want to move in, and it was such a dream house. We're near the beach, it's well below market rent. It was bigger than what we needed, but now it's the equivalent would be paying now a 1-bedroom apartment for the price we're paying for this house.
Wow.
Well, here's my thing. You're saying if you went home, it would only be for about 3 to 6 months, correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Just the market might chill out a bit.
Okay, cool.
Do you have a good relationship with your in-laws?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of going home. I'll be honest. But in this situation with the pandemic, it sounds like you are really thinking this through. It sounds like you're going into this with a plan, with a strategic plan. Now, this is not going to be for long term. This is just so me and my wife, my family and I, we can get back on our feet, and you're going to continue looking for work. I say, Ben, go there, because the last thing I want to do is see you go out there and spend over market and just...
You got no job.
Yeah, I don't want you to do that.
On maternity leave, yeah.
Yeah, so go in there with your in-laws, but then really over dinner, sit down with your in-laws. As the man of your home, say, hey, listen, here's my plan. Here's a plan for our family. Our goal is to be here for no more than 6 months. I'm going to be doing this every single day, every single week to secure a job, and just hold yourself accountable and keep updating them. Keep letting them know, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I went out here. Hopefully we hear back soon, or we didn't hear back. Because I think sometimes parents and in-laws just want to feel as if, okay, they're trying to do something. So just show them, hey, I'm going to be a provider. I'm going to take care of your daughter. This is what I'm doing. This is only temporarily until we can get back on our feet. And thank you so much. And so that's what I would do. I would go ahead and take that 6 months back in with my in-laws.
Yeah, this only makes sense if you've got a great relationship with them. And like Anthony said, you guys set up really firm boundaries on the front end. I think you should pay rent. I think you should contribute around the house. I think you should put something in writing with your father-in-law. He may tell you, you ain't doing that in my house, which is fine. But the more you can get everybody on the same page going forward, then in month 3 or month 4, someone's going to say something, or someone's going to leave towels out, or they're going to forget how loud grandkids are, and they're going to start hem-hawing around when it's time for you guys to go. And so Yeah, make it as clear as possible. But I'm with Anthony. I think this is the right move for y'all. Don't buy a house without a job, man.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Good market, bad market, don't buy a house without a job.
Don't do it. Rachel's with us in New York. Good afternoon, Rachel. How can we help?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
I just was wondering, so I'm currently in baby step 2, paying off my debt snowball.
Okay.
And I was wondering, when you pay off credit cards, if there's a better way to do it that won't affect your credit score. Like should I wait till all of them are paid off and cancel them, or should I cancel one at a time as I pay them off?
Cancel them all right now. Cut them up. Don't wait until you're paid off, because here's the problem, Rachel. If you wait, I guarantee you're going to swipe it again. You're going to use it again. If you cancel it, if you turn it off, if you cut it up, if you get it out of your system, you won't do it right now. Now, here's the truth. You may go apply for another one, but you have to have discipline. And right now, you have to be uncomfortable. And the discipline part is huge, because discipline for me is the bridge from where you are, where we are today, to where we want to go tomorrow. And if you're following our plan, okay, what I'm hearing from you is, and what I'm thinking you're saying is, I want to be debt free and I want to have financial peace. And so to have that, you have to be uncomfortable and you got to have discipline. And the uncomfortable part is cut up the credit cards. And I guarantee you, in a few years, you'll thank yourself. And so don't worry about the credit score. Okay, I get it. Well, I need to go rent a car, or I may have to, not may, but eventually one day I want to get a house. If you follow our plan, if you follow our process, we will show you how to do all of this without a credit score. We will show you how to do it and still win in the process. Okay, so I wouldn't wait. Yeah, I wouldn't wait. Go ahead and cut it up, okay?
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for calling in. Braden is with us in Marshall. Good afternoon, Braden. How can we help?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good, man. You're our last call of the day. Talk to us. What's on your heart?
I am a freshman in college. I'm in my second semester.
Okay.
I am also a student athlete.
Okay.
And that comes into play out later. I just sat down with my academic advisor today, and it looks like I could possibly graduate a year early.
Okay.
But I have to play my cards right, because it's a small school and all the classes are only offered in certain times of the year or whatever.
Sure.
So do you think, I forgot to mention, I also go to the 7th cheapest 4-year school in the nation.
Okay.
So I don't think I should have any debts my whole time there, and if I do, it'll just be small.
Cool.
So I'm just wondering, if my cards don't play out right as far as saying they're only 3 years, would it be worth it to try and get another minor? I'm going for egg solutions. I'm getting a minor in egg business, and I'm thinking of possibly getting another minor if it doesn't play out right in agronomy.
So I can't speak to the market viability of the extra credentialing or the extra stuff you're going to learn in those other fields, right? So I don't know how that translates. What I can tell you is, yes, a minor can be good. A minor can help you with your marketability. It can teach you some stuff that's going to round out your major degree. But I'm going to always push back to weigh the cost. Do you have the cash? If you can do it. If you can keep an extra year of eligibility, then go for it. But also, and we don't talk about this a lot, Anthony, what is going to be your lost year of working full-time too? Because that's also a cost. So let's say you can get in there for free, but you're going to cost you $50,000 in lost income. You may want to consider that if you can get out of there in 3 years.
Man, I got nothing else to say to that. Thank you, Dr. John, for joining me today, man. Amazing show. I want to thank our producer, James Chow, and our sitting in for our assistant producer, Madison. She did a great job. And America, thank you for listening to us too. It's been an amazing day. This is The Ramsey Show.
Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.